Okay, so I'm live again. I'm not going to be on here long. Just going to do a quick update on Tropical Storm Beryl. And so let's get right to it. I'm not going to play a intro or nothing. I'm just going to give you some uh, updates. All right. So um, basically, what happens with these things at night um, is, general cooling at night will start to make these things not look as strong. But once daylight starts to happen here, you're going to start seeing more convection. It's just a normal way of life. You get cooling at night and it gets warmer during the day. Basically, here's Florida, basically the Gulf of Mexico coastline here. Here's Texas, the coast here, and you can see what's going on here. I got on the flash density of the lightning that's going on. And you can see this feeder band here is really starting to get going here. This is not good because this is going to be heavy, 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 heavy rains. And I'll get a radar shortly of a couple of points here in the Gulf Coast on Texas. And you can see a swirl here for sure. This is still a tropical storm, but the barometric pressure has come down a little bit, so this is getting a little bit better organized. And there's plenty of time here to get at least enough together so it can become, a fairly strong Category 1 hurricane. It might become um, strong enough for a Cat 2 because it could get some rapid intensification here, but I think that's what you're gonna see basically a Cat 1 or Cat 2 here. So let's go to another map. This is the overall, whoops, infrared here. This is the true color daytime here. Um, they do this to enhance it so that you can see it at night because I don't think I can get it visible right now. So here's your center is basically right in about here. So you're going to start to see some of this convection get around the center here as the day goes on today. And I wouldn't be surprised if later today, say about, between 12 and 4 or 5, somewhere around there, that this becomes classified as another hurricane here. Again, Cat 1. As you can see, the outflow here really starting to pick up. Because right now, most of the convection is on the western side, but this is going to, you know, become more wrapped here in the. You can see the feeder band starting to, really get involved here. Because there's really nothing here. This front has already moved past here in the United States. This is a goner. There's really nothing to impede this. There's no shear here anymore once it gets closer to the coast. And, the water temperatures here again are really going to be pretty conducive for further development here. But you can see, you're really starting to see a good outflow here. You're probably going to see a buzzsaw here by the later periods today here. All right, so let's get a quick. Uh, Whoops. Mid-level vapor. Okay, so here's that front here that came down across the country. You get the dry air here to the back side of this, and this is heading off to the east here. Um, you get the high pressure here that's weakened quite a bit here over the coast of Florida here. That's pretty much non-existent. And there is some shear up here a little bit, but it's heading east, so it's going to really dissipate here shortly. And you can see this really starting to circulate here. It's really, you're getting that outflow here. There's a little bit of dry air that's trying to move in here, but it's not going to happen. Maybe some trying to get into this part, but once it drifts off over, once this kind of lifts a little bit more here, you're going to see this really start to take a northwestern track here. You see the center's right about there. Uh, yep, you can see the outflow here for sure. Uh, but like I said, once it starts to move a little more northwest here, it's going to get out of any of the shear here, and it's going to really start to pick up some strength here. All right, so let's do that. Give me a second. I'll get a radar. Okay, so I'll stop sharing that. We'll get a local radar. We'll get a couple of them here from Texas. Okay, so this whole thing, this is coming out of Corpus Christi. I think the weather forecast office in Corpus Christi, and this is pretty good. They give you these alerts here. Distant hurricanes can be deadly. Rip currents, definitely. All other kinds of things. There have been some, and this is not just for Texas. This goes all the way up into Louisiana, all the way sometimes to Florida with the rip currents. But they're going to be a little bit more prevalent here. So here's your warnings here for, Bay City, Rockport, Corpus Christi. You're getting storm surge warnings right at the coast here, hurricane warnings. Everything's starting to pop up now. Storm surge warnings in the purple here. Hurricane watches for other areas. And rip current here. All of these are going to be there for a while. What I want to do is go to this radar here. So this is Corpus Christi Station here. We'll try to get another. So here's Brownsville here, and on the western side of this storm here, you're going to start seeing some of these feeder bands work their way in here, right there. These here, but these here, the circulation's off in here somewhere. So these feeder bands here, within the next 10 hours or so, are going to really start pushing a lot of water in to, Corpus Christi, Kingsville. Wait till that resets here. These feeder bands here are going to really start to push a lot of water in. These waves are going to get stronger here. And the problem with this system here is it's going to be a strengthening system as it gets to the coast. Normally these things here, they tend to weaken a little bit as they get towards land, but this is going to be a strengthening hurricane. So I wouldn't pay attention to too much to the categories. I'd pay a little bit more attention to the fact that you're going to be getting a hurricane. That's why I wish they would sometimes get rid of the Saffir-Simpson scale, because sometimes people hear a Cat 1 and they just all of a sudden want to go out and drive around. Um, but the problem is this is going to be a strengthening storm as it gets to the coast here, uh, and it's it's possible that this could rapidly intensify as it gets closer to the coast here. So, I mean, I don't think you're going to be seeing a major hurricane here, like a Cat 3. I don't think it has enough time. But strong Category 2 or even a strong Category 1 with these feeder bands here, you're going to see tornado warnings pop up all up and down the coast here, especially on the eastern side of where this hits. Um, so those could, inside of these thunderheads here, you're going to see maybe some vortices pop up when this system gets a little bit better organized. But regardless, you're going to have a ton of water. All right, so let's go back. So this is the weather today, Sunday, July 7, 2024. This is today's forecast for the entire continental United States. You have tropical storm Beryl here, high pressure way off to the west, basically due west. So this is spinning, clockwise here. This wants to spin counterclockwise. This low pressure system here is past Beryl now. It's dropped down and it's past, and it's lifting kind of here. So you have counterclockwise here. So this is going to try, like I said earlier in the week, this is going to try to curve around this trough here and head up basically almost north, like it's climbing stairs here. Going to keep going up and up and up all the way up. By the time it gets up into here, it's basically just going to be a low pressure system. But this whole area here, as it tries to curve around this low pressure system here, it's going to inundate some of these areas with a ton of water. Uh, so let's get some. So this is the significant river flood outlook, and this is again from the National Weather Service, and this is part of the river flooding here. So in these yellows here, let's see if I can. Houston, Lake Charles, Austin, Corpus Christi, significant river flooding is going to be extremely possible. Um, Anywhere where you see the white, it's not expected. But in this area here, and this could extend, more north here. But this is where you're going to see significant river flooding. Um, and when it does happen, you're probably going to start to see this color, which is significant river flooding occurring. So people forget about river flooding, but this is going to pour a ton of water into this area here, and these rivers here just can't handle it. That happened with Harvey. The difference here is this system is not going to be like Harvey, where Harvey just didn't want to go away. It kept, pouring tons of water on here for a couple of days. This storm here is going to get in and get out, so it's not going to really inundate too much. But where am I? What am I doing? So this, I just clicked something. This is the river gauge, and where you see the greens here. Uh, here's Texas. See if I can. So 10 feet is major. Moderate would be 9.6, 8.8 feet. So, okay, let me go back because I don't think that's accurate. right now. Oh, let's go a little bit more north here. Okay, so this is coming out of Houston and Galveston, so it's a little bit more northeast from where we were just a couple of seconds ago. Um, and this is going to give you, updates throughout the day here. But this is, the warnings here and stuff. Like, I'm glad they do this stuff, but I don't think anybody knows about the National Weather Service. So, um, but right now, this is a location here. 60-mile-an-hour winds. The pressure's come down a little bit. It was at 1005, I think, yesterday. Now it's down to 993. So this is telling me that's getting better organized. The pressure's dropping a little bit. And you'll see this go down even more today. And this is where whenever this update came out, this was done at 10 p.m. Central Daylight Time. So this could have changed. And this is your outlook here. Again, here's your, watches and warnings, storm surge, hurricane warning, tropical storm warning, all of these things. Even, I would not be surprised if this thing here wants to cause a problem for Lake Charles too here, but this will probably be my last update on this. But I'm going to get kind of an update on the current track for this thing here. So, but these are your warnings: recurrence, flood watch. It's going to suck for about 24 hours between like tonight and Monday afternoon. Here, anyways. So here's your system here. And this is beautiful. Okay, so here's Corpus Christi here. And you're seeing some of these bands here wanting to try to push into Brownsville right now. So as this pushes more to the north, you're going to see Brownsville getting hit here soon. And here comes some feeder bands here. This is the one I wanted here. So you're seeing, tornado threat, severe thunderstorm threats. Once you start seeing these here, you'll probably see some water spouts in here too. You're seeing these thunderheads really starting to pop up now here. Anytime you see a rotation in there too, it's probably a water spout. These are heavy, heavy, heavy thunderstorms, and these are going to wrap around, keep wrapping around the center here as the day goes on, as it pushes north. I'll do one more. I want to go up here to this is what they want you to have. Flashlight, obviously, water. I think this is good, but I would definitely have batteries handy, portable radio, gas in the car, stuff like that. because at least with gas in the car, if you lose power, you're going to lose power. So, what we do around here when we lose power is we just charge our phones in the car. Um, so you have gas, you can at least use the radio in the car to get updates and stuff like that. Because we lose power here all the time. Here's all of the stuff you should probably know by now if you live in Texas, especially on the Gulf side. What was I just doing? Oh, right here. Okay. Well, this is Galveston here, and here's Lake Charles. I still think some of this eastern side here is going to really try to get into Lake Charles here. We'll see what happens, but this is below sea level here, so this could be a problem if it gets, any more of a wobble to the right here. 50 miles difference is going to be a big deal here. Hey, Charlotte, how are you? Good to see you. Just do a quick update on this tropical storm here right now. Good to see you. But I want to go back here. Hold on a second. I want to go back to this really quick. See this stuff here, filling into this drier air here. These are the feeder bands here that are going to continue to grow and get stronger. So, like I said, if I lived in western Louisiana here, and I was on the border of Texas and Louisiana, I would pay heavy attention to some of these feeder bands here because to me, it just looks bad. I might be wrong, but this could pour in a ton of water here. Because if you look, I can go back to the feeder bands here, the lightning strikes and stuff. This is not going to stop. It's going to keep building and building and building and building here, and it's not going to go west. It's going to kind of go like this and around up to the north here. So, we'll see what happens. But this, to me, this is not looking good. This path here for this area in here. And you'll see rip currents all the way over here, all throughout the entire Gulf here. But see this is a strengthening system here. You're seeing some of these spiral bands here starting to really form again. It wasn't looking good yesterday, that's for sure. But now you're starting to see some intensification here. It could go through what they call a rapid intensification, where we saw that when it was in the Caribbean. It was a minimal tropical storm, and then in like a day or so, it was a Category 5 hurricane. I don't think that's going to happen here, but you could see some rapid intensification here. So I wouldn't be surprised if this got to Category 2 status. I just wouldn't. I've been saying that for a week now. All right, so let's go to a plotting system here. Because like I said, once you get into the Gulf, it's anybody's game, man. It's it's a whole new animal when you get to the Gulf of Mexico. The water temperatures are perfect. It's like probably 85, 87 degree water temperature, especially as you get closer to the coast. No shear. There's very little shear close to the coast. And this, like I said, this has been traveling for days, bringing tons of water with it, stirring up the oceans. It's not good. All right, so let's I'm gonna go here. Actually, let's get some. So right now it's sustained winds at about 60 miles per hour. You're probably getting gusts over 70. Central pressure down right now. It's 995. It was at you know over 1005. I think yesterday it was coming up a little bit. It's kind of stalled a little bit more than it was yesterday. It's at 12 knots now and 12 miles per hour now, so it's slowed down quite a bit. That's not good either. Located at 25.3 north, 94.6 west, and this is the 35th advisory. So this is 4 a.m. advisory. This is the latest here. So these are the rainfall totals here. Oops, sorry. Let me share this. That might be nice. I hate when I do that. Sorry, guys. Okay, so these are the forecasted rainfall total amounts here. So in the deep reds here, right? You're going 12 inches up to 16 inches, and this is as of 2:51 a.m. Today. So this is the theory. It's down around in here somewhere, and it's going to come up and just basically climb a ladder. Like I said, go due north. Springfield, Fort Smith, Dallas, outside of Dallas, Fort Worth, Shreveport. I wouldn't be surprised. Houston, and like I said, right in this border here, like Houston and Lake Charles. What did I do that for? That's a lot of water for these guys in this short period of time. I mean, it's one thing if this was spread out over a few days, but when you get this much water over there in the rivers in a few short hours, it puddles. It creates a big problem, and especially we got wind pushing the water in. It doesn't help. So let's go to the flash flood potential here. So this is the greatest flash flood risk over the next 3 days, and that starts today. So right in this 40% zone here, marginal at least 5%, and in the low, slight. So moderate right in here. And then Wednesday morning, this thing is out of here, out of Texas anyways. So this would be Monday, right in here. Excessive rainfall forecast right there, day one. And then marginal as you go up in day one. So the latest National Hurricane Forecast Track for Beryl has Beryl positioned just offshore the mid-Texas coast with it making landfall prior to 12 Monday. Outer bands will wrap into the coast from South Texas up along the coast into that's what I said, into far southwestern Louisiana. While the bulk of its precipitation shield will lie in day two. So day two is going to be where the heaviest rainfall will happen. Beryl may shift a bit depending on its evolution in the next 12 to 24 hours. The National Weather Service, they always make things very difficult. All right, so Here's your tropical storm force wind speed probabilities, and this is going to change because this is definitely going to become a hurricane by later on today. There's no doubt in my mind now. So here's your wind field here, and as you start going out from the center here, you're gonna start lesser, 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 lesser. But in these thunderstorm bands, these feeder bands, you're going to get what they call straight line winds from the thunderstorm. So those could be their own problem as far as winds, gusty winds. And this is your forecast here, 90 plus in this area here. And then you start drifting off from the center. You're going to start getting lower and lower and lower. But I mean, I don't think wind is going to be that big of a deal. They've seen wind before down there like this, but here's the cone warning in the cone here. So this is the advisory we just read. See, when you get to these speeds here, 74 to 110 miles per hour, that's considered a hurricane, and you get outside of that, then it's considered a major hurricane. But this is mythical here because depending on where you are, you know what I mean? All right, so today at 4 a.m. here, it was here. So it's going to be a storm still here. 1 a.m. Monday, hurricane, and then it's going to make landfall. But between here and there, is a guess. That's a guess. I think it's going to be a hurricane much earlier than that. That's just my opinion. All right, so let's. Okay, so chance of sustained 1 minute average wind speeds of at least. Oh, that's awesome. I might do a live on Delphi just at some point. I'm glad you had that. That's awesome, Charlotte. That's excellent. Okay, where was I? Right, chances of sustained 1 minute average. So sustained wind speeds of basically 1 minute on the average of a sustained gust. And 1 minute can be a long time in those winds, trust me. Wind speeds of at least 35 knots, 50 knots, or 64 knots. So, 39, 58, 74. For locations and time periods during the next 5 days. So, when you're talking wind speeds like that, 10 seconds could be a long time. So a whole minute, that's sometimes feels like hell. The center of tropical storm Beryl is located near latitude 25.3 north. We said that before. Maximum sustained winds at 60 miles per hour, but 95 mile an hour gusts. So there you go. And let's get so here's the Gulf here, and this is Texas here, Florida here. So here's Yucatan Peninsula, Bay of Campeche here. So our storm is heading into this zone right here, which is much warmer than over here. If if you look at the yellow oranges here, this is a little bit more soupy here. So this is telling me that it's going to start getting into really favorable water temperatures here soon. So, like I said, if it was me, man, I would definitely count on the worst possible scenario, right? Category 2, um, with a lot of ton of wind, um, ton of rain, uh, ton of everything that comes with a hurricane. All right, so let's go back to. I do want to pull up one more thing with this, and then I'll get out of here. So these are the phases in the cloud top. So what they do is they color in these colors to show you where the cloud tops are at, the phases of them. So when you get into these darker reds here, that's way up. That's and then when you get into the red, it's down a little bit, and then they start to shelf off with the greens and the blues here, and then of course your just your regular clouds. But you can see some deep convection in here now because it's starting to get lighter. Temperatures are starting to go up, so the convection is going to go up. And this is the problem that I have: is these feeder bands right here that nobody ever talks about. The center's over in here somewhere, but these outer bands here always cause a lot of problems, and these will start to feed all the way up into the Houston area, Lake Charles area. That's especially if it starts to curve more north now. And they're not going to stop. They're going to be going for a good 12 hours. These are going to keep pushing water into these bays here, into these rivers, and it could be a huge problem, especially because this is going to be an intensifying hurricane as it hits the coast, and not a weakening system as it hits the coast. So that's part of the problem. Um, and you're going to see tornado warnings all the way up and down the eastern side of this as this storm starts to hit more inland here. So, all right, that's it for me. I just wanted to give an update on this here. It'll probably be my last update because I'll probably sleep most of the day now since I got to work tonight. But let me get, hold on a second. So I'm going to share this for a little while and then get out of here. So this is coming from KHOU 11. I think this is out of Texas here. A coastal rain and flooding, 2.5-foot storm surge, enhanced tornado potential for sure. Yeah, see that turn right there, right? Oh, don't do it again anyway. So here's Brownsville down here, right? So when it comes to the bulk of this stuff, they're pretty much out of the woods. But Galveston here, even into Houston, here's the border, Louisiana here. But this heavy, what they call the dirty side of the hurricane, is going to be on the eastern side. So anything east of the center here, and this is this is the cone, so it could go this way, or it could go more to the left. But it's going to turn um, and then just basically go due north. Because there's nothing stopping it from going that way. I mean, so, and you see, I just keep telling, just keep like these feeder bands are part of the problem. They always are, right? As it pushes up, these feeder bands are going to go all the way into like Jackson, New Orleans. I'm going to play that again so people can see that. Here's Galveston here as a Boulevard Peninsula. We remember that one from Hurricane Katrina. We got 3 to 5 foot storm surge here. This is Louisiana. 4 to 6 down here, obviously, and between Corpus Christi and Houston. That's a lot. I'll play that again because I want to show you those feeder bands here. So watch these feeder bands come in. Just watch how this system, nobody pays attention to these outer feeder bands, and when this thing lifts north, these feeder bands have to go with it. And you watch even all the way over here into eastern Louisiana. You see, I'm just coming up here. It just so. And they keep coming, right? And they spread out. They start here, and now they're over here, and nobody tells these people over here to be careful because they always concentrate on the center of the storm. But these feeder bands here, I mean, they can produce a ton of rain in a very short period of time. And embedded in some of these are what they call vortices, or smaller vortices, smaller tornadoes, and they can pop up at any time. We have no way of predicting these. Even way over here, you see way over here is some of these feeder bands. And people always say, well, we weren't in the storm path, but you are. So, all right, I'm going to get out of here. But you can see it's getting much better organized here. Pressure's down. The speed has pretty much come to a standstill, 12 miles per hour from where it was. It was, Beryl at 22 miles per hour. This will go up for sure because the pressure's come down. So. All right, so that's it. Thank you, Charlotte. You're awesome. You're always going to be awesome here. I generally appreciate you coming into my chats all the time. Yeah. I try to stay out of the. Was it Tom Webster over there? Anyways, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you, Charlotte, for coming in. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I think this can probably be my last update on the storm. But everybody who's in Texas or anywhere near the storm path, take care of yourself. Try to do the best you can. And I'll see everybody later. I'm not going to play an outro. I'm just going to get the hell out of here. It's almost 6 o'clock. So the sun's coming up. So, all right. So everybody have a good day. Stay safe. And I'll see you guys later. Thank you. Take care, Charlotte. Good to see you always.